Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the Spring Flower Coaster. This is an 8-inch approximately coaster that you see, great for putting underneath a planter, a centerpiece, etc. We're going to be working through this together. It's got a little bit of crocodile stitching that you can see that will lift up and really provide the texture. Page number 2, we also have a crochet diagram that is available to you for those that prefer that method and see how that it's made. You'll need a 5mm size H crochet hook today, and also we are recommending, it doesn't take a lot of yarn, so this is the Bernat Handicrafter Cotton. You can also use Lily Sugar and Cream for this, so you can see it's a relatively small ball because it's not a lot of yarn commitment here. So without further ado, let's get after it and let's start working through the beginning of this. As we begin to work through this, we're going to create a chain of 5 and then we're going to apply these single crochets in there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we can see that when we're starting off this is going to be, this whole section will be in sections of 8 and then it will expand out into the petal work that we see. So we're going to begin to do the very center here and you will see how it's going to grow, and then we will go step by step as we work our way throughout the rounds. So let's begin. We are going to start off with the slip knot. This is classified as an easy project as well, and I would concur with that as well based on what I can read. We're gonna chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and simply just stick your hook in the beginning chain, 5th chain from the hook, and yarning over, pulling it through and through, and you have the center ring of your coaster right there. When you go to apply number 2, just make sure the straggler goes over top of the ring, and then that will get stuck in a position. So let's move along to round number 1. Let's begin round number 1. You're going to chain up 1, and in the center of the ring I want you to place 8 single crochets in there. Let's count those out together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And before I stop here, I'll just stop really quickly. If you'd like to do a magic ring, people usually email in about that. You can do a magic ring if you want to instead of chaining 5. So we're gonna just slip stitch to the first one. If you're not sure which one is the first, just count it backwards. So 1, just count the stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I'm just gonna do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So the 8th one is where you're going to slip stitch to conclude that round. There you go. Let's move along to round number 2. Round number 2, we are going to chain up 1, and you are going to apply 2 single crochets into each one of the stitches going all the way around. So there's 8 stitches right now, so that means it'll be 8 groups of 2. So that was 1. I'm not gonna count it. I'm just gonna look for it and meet you around when you get your 2 done in each. So I now have my 8 groups of 2. Now do you see this one here? This looks like a gapping space, but it's not. It's actually part of the first one here. So don't mistake that for being a stitch. And just once you get all the way around, just slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet. Pull through and through. Pull it nice and tight, and then you're ready to move on to round number 3. Let's start round number 3. You're gonna chain up 1, and the repeat pattern is as follows. So there's gonna be 1 single crochet in the first, and the next one there will be 2 single crochets. So let's repeat this again. You're gonna keep doing this around. So the next one is 1 by itself, and then the next one has 2. So please repeat that same pattern going all the way around. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. So at the end of number 3, what we're doing here, the last one is 2 single crochets in there, and that's just a matter of keeping count. So I haven't done anything special, and you're just going to pull it tight and slip stitch to the first single crochet you started with. Let's move on to number 4. 4, we're gonna chain up 1, and then you're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 by itself and 2 by itself, and then the next one has 2 into the same one. So the repeat pattern for round number 4 is that the first 2 are by themselves. So 1's by itself, 2's by itself, and then 3, which is it's gonna have 2. So please do that all the way around for round number 4. So coming up to the end of number 4, the very final stitch is 2 into the same one, and that's just a matter of keeping count in order to get that. So let's just slip stitch now to the beginning single crochet, and let's move on to round number 5. Round number 5, chain up 1, and the first 3 are gonna be by themselves. So 1, 2 and 3, and then the next one has 2 in it. So let's review that one more time and you'll keep doing that around. So the next 3 are by themselves. So 1 by itself, 2 and 3, and then the next one has 2 in there. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 5. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 5 and the last one has 2 in there. Okay, so join to the beginning single crochet and let's move on to round number 6. So 6 we're still growing out, so the chain 1 and the first 4 in a row are each by themselves. So we have 1 by itself, 2, 3, 4, and then the next one has 2 in there. Okay, so the repeat pattern is 4 by itself. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then the next one has 2. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 6. Coming up to the end of round number 6, there's 2 in the last one because I'm keeping the right counts, and slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. Let's go for number 7. This is the second last round that we will be doing for the growth for this particular area of the coaster. Chain up 1, and in round number 7 you are going to just single crochet into this one plus the next 4, so there'll be 5 in a row. So 1 is already done, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then the next one has 2 in there. So the repeat pattern for round number 7 is 5 in a row by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the next one has 2 in there. Please do that all the way around for round number 7. Coming up to the end of round number 7, there's 2 into the last one because I'm keeping the right counts, and then slip stitch to the beginning. So round number 8 we're gonna slightly change, and we are going to be changing where it's growing, and it's not as incremental as what this appears at this moment. So let's begin round number 8. In round number 8 we're actually keeping in count. See how we had 5 single crochets in a row? In round number 8 we're actually gonna have 6 in a row, but the way that we're gonna start is that we're going to break up. See, this is gonna create a line in your work when you do this. You see it right there? So what this is doing is it's breaking that up just for the last section. So we're gonna start off and chain 1 and do only 3 in a row of single crochets, and then there'll be 2. Now the pattern is written so that it's in increments like the pie shape, so 3 and then 2 and then 3. It's easier in your mind if you just start off and you say you're just doing 3, which you will, and then do 2 and then 6 and then 2 and 6 and 2, and that's the way I would count it if I were you and you were me, and you will end up with 3 left over at the end that you will fill in with single crochets. So let's begin round number 8. You know, the way that they have it written absolutely makes crochet sense, but sometimes just memory hook wise it's just sometimes easier to break it down even further. So let's begin round number 8. Let's begin round number 8. You're gonna chain up 1 and 1 single crochet in the next 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and now the repeat pattern is gonna start here. So you're gonna put 2 into the next one, so 1 and 2 and then 6. So we're gonna start there now with the 6 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And the reason why we're doing that, see how this rounded it off better? See how it's kind of jutting and pointing? That gets rid of that by doing what we're doing. So we're now gonna put 2 into the next one and then 6 again. So I want you to repeat that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then put 2 in the next. So you're gonna do this all the way around, and if your counts are right, after you do the final 6, when it comes over here there should be 3 left over, and that will conclude this color, and then we'll move on to the fun color of the robin's egg after that. Continue now round number 8. So I'm coming all the way around and I'm putting 2 into the last set here, and then there will be 3 in a row. So 1, 2 and 3. So my counts are right. So what I want to do then at this point is that I'm going to just slip stitch to the first one, and then that's it for this color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be right back. I left my darning needle somewhere else. I'm just going to pull this through and I'll be right back, and I'll show you how to weave this in with the tapestry needle, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Did you miss me? Okay, so Crochet Crowd, I always lose two things. I lose a tapestry needle and I lose pairs of scissors like crazy. I don't know why. Just one of those things. So I'm just gonna feed this through. And what I want it to do is just turn it over. So this is the back side of the project, and I just want to weave in favoring the back side. If I turn it over and see the needle through it, it means I'm too deep. So keep it to the back side. So 1, and go back the other way, 2. You always have to go in a slightly different path to make sure it doesn't unravel, and back and forth 3 times, and that's a charm today. Trim, you're good to go. So now we're gonna continue then with the petals next. So it's looking pretty perfect already. So let's begin doing petal work. So the next 6 rounds that we have are all using the robin's egg color, and we're gonna start off right in the very beginning, right where we fastened off, and we are going to chain 1 and single crochet into the same one. You're then going to chain 4, and you're only gonna skip 3. So 1, 2, 3, and go to the 4th and single crochet. So then chain 4, skip 3, and go to the 4th, and you're gonna continue in this. So this will be the foundation to hold the first layer of these shells that you will see that will go all the way around. Let's begin round number 9, and let's grab your yarn and let's go. So let's begin. I'm gonna create an extra long tail so I can hide that in later. It's harder to hide things in when it's a chain work, but we can hide it in the next round, but not this one. So we're going to join it right where the other one was already, where we left it, and I want to join it in the proper spot, and then therefore it looks even all the way around. So I'm gonna start off with the standing single crochet, which is not part of the pattern, but instead of sticking my hook in and fastening it and chain 1 and single crochet, you can do a standing. So if you put the slip knot on and go into the hook, go into the stitch first, pull through, but don't pull through that blue loop that's already on the hook, just scoop it. You will have 2 loops, pull through 2, and that's a standing single crochet. So you're technically done. So that's a kind of neat idea. So we're gonna chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to skip over 3 only. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, and single crochet, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th. So please do that all the way around. It's a repeat for round number 9. I'm coming up all the way around, and I'm chaining my final 4, and I'm just going to slip stitch it then to the beginning single crochet that I started with, and there should be 16 groups of these chain 4 spaces all the way around. So 16 is your magic number. Okay, I've already verified that off camera. We're now gonna move on to round number 10. You were going to chain 1. So you're already right where you should be. So you're gonna chain 1, and there will be a half double crochet in the first one. See the straggler? Put it around that chain and therefore trapping it in. So you're gonna do a half double crochet for the first one, and then 4 double crochets. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then finish it off with the half double crochet. And watch what we're gonna do. So now that I did my half double crochet, I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm gonna slip stitch to the single crochet, and then chain 1 and begin the next one. So the next one, they'll all be the same, is a half double crochet for the first, and then 4 doubles. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then a half double crochet in, chain 1, slip stitch to the single, chain 1, and then begin all over again. So half, and then 4 doubles, half, chain 1, and slip. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 10. When you get all the way back around, you're going to chain 1 and then slip stitch to the beginning single crochet from the previous round. We're now going to progress now to round number 11, and to start first is that you need to chain a total of 2. And you really gotta kind of watch where the stitches are going to go at this particular point. So what we need to do is see that these there's 4 double crochets that are in the middle. So you have a half, 4, and then a half. So what you need to do in order to access this, to get the next one in, you just have to go and separate the groups of 4 so that you see 2, and just going in, separating the group, and just single crocheting into that section. See, it's kind of hidden. So then you are going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go to the next petal and see the middle group. So you got the half, 4 doubles, and a half. Separate the 2 double crochets in the middle of that, come from behind and stay in behind and single crochet. I'll show you one more time. So chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, separate the 2 middles and single crochet. Please do that all the way around for round number 11. When you get all the way around, you're just going to slip stitch then into the first single crochet that you had started with, and then you're ready to go then for round number, I believe, 12. So let me look up. It is number 12. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do something similar, but the petals are slightly bigger. So now you're going to half double crochet into this chain 5 space, and then there will be a total of 6 double crochets in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then a half double crochet. Then you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch into the single crochet. So see how the petals are pushed forward? So slip stitch into that one, chain 1, and then start all over. So it's going to be half double crochet and then 6. So 6 doubles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then a half, chain 1, and then slip stitch into the other single crochet. So chain 1, half, 6, half, chain 1, and come back in. So please do that all the way around. This is round number 12. So as we come all the way back around, I've just got a chain 1, and then I slip stitch to where the first single crochet, where the first one is there, and then we're gonna start then round number 13. We're gonna chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gets us to where we need to go, and we're gonna separate the 2 stitches right in the middle. So we have the 3 double crochets here, 3 on this side. So we're just gonna do what we did before, separate them from behind and single crochet, and then we're gonna chain a total of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then go to the next petal and separate the 2 middle ones. So we have a half, and then there's 3 doubles, and that's where I want to go into. And then chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go to the next one. So a half, 1, 2, 3, separate and single crochet. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 13. One more round to go after this. So coming back to the beginning, so 7, so 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and just slip stitch it to the first single crochet. So we're on our last round, and let's begin. So this is round number 14. So we're gonna chain 2 to begin, and then in the first one here there is going to be 5 double crochets in a row. So watch what we do. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're gonna do a picot. So to do a picot, you're just going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then right where those are coming together, just slip in behind those, pull through and through, and that's your picot, and then do another 4 in the same one. So there's technically 9 double crochets into each one of these spaces, and that creates a point on the end. Once you have that done, chain 2 and slip stitch down to the single crochet, and then begin again. So chain chain 2, 1, 2, and do the first 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a picot. So 1, 2, 3 is your chain, and slip, pull through and through, and then finish it with 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 2, and slip back into the single crochet. So I want you to continue that all the way around. This is the final round, and when you start laying things out, you'll see that it's all working out really quite beautifully. Let's continue along, and let's get this done together. I'll see you at the end of this round. So once you get all the way around, you're just going to slip stitch. You're gonna chain your 2, don't forget, and slip stitch in, and then that's it. So what we want to do then is just weave in this end. So cut your strand and pull through, turn it over, get the back side of it, and grab that fabulous tapestry needle that is may not be missing in your life, but I always lose them. And we're just going to put them in, and I want to trace this back. So I want to just take it underneath the strands, stay towards the back side of this project. Okay, so if I turn it over, I should not see it. So go once, and back the other direction twice. So again, you don't see it. And then finally back in the other direction 3 times. So because this will probably be on your coffee table or your main tables or whatever, you don't want those loose ends falling out, because that's where your eyes will go to all the time. So this will complete off this. So what you want to just do is just kind of give it a good stretch. Let's just back out the camera a little bit here, and this is your new centerpiece, and you can put a planter or whatever, and this is cotton yarn, so you can wash this if you need to, just in case you spill anything on it. So this here is the spring flower coaster, another free pattern by Yarnspirations.com. I hopefully you've enjoyed today's presentation. Have a good one. Here come the hands. Watch out. See ya.